I am building a chess engine from scratch using a language that I completely have no idea in, and that language is Golang. Now, previously, I made a video talking about the entire architecture, the folder structure of the application, but today I'm going to walk you guys through something that is very important, which is like the step-by-step walkthrough through everything that I did, and I hope you guys will be interested as well in knowing what I did. So let's just get straight into it without further ado. I'm just gonna open my application. As you can see, this is Golang. This is what my IDE of choice, right? If you use VS Code, I man, I don't know what you do with your life, but it is what it is. So let's get straight into a chessboard. This is not what I'm building. I don't think you guys will think that I'm building chess.com from scratch. No, I'm building a chess engine, which is like the brain behind what's happening here. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this chessboard is, anyways, don't look at the draw, you guys. I literally drew a game that I should have won. You feel me? I drew a game that I should have won, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it happens. These guys are not like low rated guys. I would say 800 is not low rated. That's be like maybe intermediate, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to show you guys something that I did on the chess engine. Now, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because if you look at this chessboard, there are these lines here that I'm just drawing, and there are also these lines here. There's I don't think this is like horizontal lines. This is like vertical lines, and these are horizontal lines. Now, these vertical lines here, these marked from 1 to, I mean, yeah, I think it's vertical lines, yeah, marked from 1 through 8. These are actually ranks, right? I mean, these are files, my bad, these are files, 1 through 8. And I mean, these are ranks. Yes, this is the first rank, second rank, and third rank. These are ranks, my bad. And these are the files, right? This is the D file. Hold on. How are the ranks marked? Because this is like A file, this A file is B file, this is C file, and this is D file. And then this is like the sixth rank, this is a fifth rank, and all of that. So yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the thing that I want you guys to know is that in this chessboard, 8 by 8 chessboard, like all over the world, like if you go to Canada, Kenya, whatever country that you go to, India, every chessboard is an 8 by 8 chessboard. Well, there are other chessboards back in the day. I mean, modern chessboards are all 8 by 8 chessboards. Now, why is that important to know? Because as you can tell, let's say I am white, for example. I'm white and I move a pawn here, right? I would like to know, like, in this move that I just made, right? What was this square, like this individual square? What was that square doing before I moved my pawn to that square, right? So this pawn, I mean, this square right here was empty before. What was the state actually? It was empty before I moved my pawn to it, right? And then I also need to know, hey, is it like later when we come to building the entire application, we need to know what's happening in the squares. Is the square occupied? Which square is it, right? So that's what we did today. Now let's just get to the code and I can give you guys idea of everything that we are doing. As you can see, we are building custom types called color. As you can see, this is a custom type called color and is of type integer. This also custom type called piece type and is of type integer as well. And we have something called iota, which is Go's way of saying enums, right? I think. Now, as you can see, for these enums, you need to say like the first value in your constant or your enum will always be 0, right? So 0, 1. And then it will take our custom color. That means white is of type color, and it's iota, that means starts from 0, and everything else will increment by 1. Now the black piece we have, for color we have white and black, which is the same thing in the chessboard here. We have white and black. um Damn, I hate it when it turns to this stuff. So we have white pieces and black pieces. And as you can see, there are these squares that are empty. I'll tell you guys why I'm worried about the empty squares. But let's just go back now. This is our representation. So now we are starting with board representation today. That's the reason why I'm showing you guys this. Now, the next thing we are going to have piece type iota as well, which is a piece type enum that is going to contain the pawn, the knights, the bishop, the rooks, and the queens and the kings, right? If you come back here, you can tell we have the rook, we start with the pawn. We have the pawn, the rook, the bishop, the knight. What's going on with me? We have the pawn, the rook, the knight, the bishop, the queen, the king, the bishop, the knight, and the rook. Right? These are just pairs, but obviously, one we can just represent as one, right? We can represent knight as knight, and then everything that applies to this knight applies to this knight as well. Same applies to these bishops. Now, That is that we need to know at the moment to represent all of these pieces. So we are representing them with the custom enums, as you can tell. And we have something important, which is none. Now, what is this none starting for here? This none is literally starting from zero. As you can see, this none here is zero. We are starting like this none is actually this squares, right? So now if we go back here, you'll understand. Once we reach to how we are representing the board, you will understand why we have none as the starting enum, right? It's taking the value of zero and is of type piece type and is iota, right? So now if you look here, this is an empty square and we are representing it with none. So that means we are using the goes way of saying, hey, the first value is zero, and we are actually using it to our advantage. That means zero is nothing, right? And we are representing the empty square with nothing. But given it's also a type within the piece type inside this enum, I think that should be very straightforward if you have a brain. But other than that, it will always increment. The iota will increment by one. So we have pawn is one, knight is two, bishop is represented by three, rook is represented by four, queen is represented by five, and king is represented by six. That's the reason why our custom type of piece type here is type safe by default, not by default because it's a custom type, right? But we already know off the jump that this is a integer type, and also color is also integer type. Why is color integer instead of a string? That's because, as you can see, we are using custom enums and we are giving them the first element will always, or the first field will always be zero, the second one will be one, and all of them are represented by integers. That's the reason why their types is integer. Now, that is almost the same concept as binaries. Everything in the computer is represented by ones and zeros, and I think you guys have an idea. That there you go, just go and do more research and you will understand what I mean. Okay, what the hell is going on here? I think I should just get this. This is none. This is of type piece type. What am I doing, my brothers? Okay, I thought I spoiled something for a sec, but that is okay. Now, as you can see, we have a struct, and now this is structure is actually keeping track of our color and piece type. Now, this struct is what is combining these two different types, which is of type color. I mean, we have color of type color, and we have piece type of type piece type. Now, this might be a little bit confusing, but it shouldn't be, because this is just a placeholder word that represents what this color is, right? So if you just hover over this, you will see that this is a field color of type color of piece type. Now this is like piece type means this is struct, right? And anything that is inside a struct later, let's say later we want to access these elements of color and piece type, the rules, like let's say we are inside the rules package, because at the moment we're still in the board representation, but later the rules will have to use everything that's coming from the board representation. So what are we going to do to utilize what we have here as our struct, which is a combination of two different types? Is going to be using our public fields. Now, the reason why I'm saying public is because the first color, I mean, the first letter here is starting as a capital letter or uppercase letter, if you may. And yeah, then they are going to be public. If we put them as lowercase, they will just be private. I guess that's the way Go wants it to be. But there you go. We're going to go with that. And now you can see we have type board, which is a struct as well. So we have two different structs, the piece struct and the board struct. And the board struct is literally just 64 pieces. That's the reason why I began by showing you guys the board, so that you guys can even count it if you want. But this is literally 64. This is 8 by 8. It's starting from A to H, which is literally 8. And this is 1 to 8, which is also 8. And if you just do the math, you will find out that there's 64 individual squares in here. And that's the reason why we're representing our entire board with 64 with an array of fixed size of 64, which means every single piece will have its own space, its own square. Now, why do we have 64 here? Like I said, every modern chessboard is literally 64. And at the same time, we are using an array, not a slice, because if we just remove 64, it will be a slice. That means it's going to be of any length, which is not what we want. So that's the reason why we have chosen the proper data type, which is our struct. And that is that for today's board representation. The next one is going to be rules and maybe other stuff that I will need to implement. But for today's work, I think this is like enough knowledge to show you guys that we've really done something, at least for today. And that's gonna do it. I want to keep these videos as short as possible so that you guys are able to consume every single video gracefully, and maybe just be willing to wait for another video instead of just piling you guys like with a whole like 24-hour kind of video. And I think that's gonna do it, my boys. So I like this because it keeps me consistent as well. So I'm rambling at this point, but consider liking and subscribing and also following me so that you can keep track with our build. And that's gonna do it, my boys. I think I'm gonna be out of here, man. Consider liking, subscribing, following if you want to. Join our Discord. Link is down below. And I'm gonna be out of here. Catch you guys the next time we upload a video. Let's go.